So Georgia Tech has one of like the top 20 passing offenses in the country coming into this game. Just what have you seen from watching them on film? What do you think they do well?
There's speed, speed all over the field from number 13 to 8, 6, 12. They have a lot of guys that give a lot of gas. They're very powerful offense, have a great quarterback in that can make every throw. And he's mobile when he's out the pocket. He also makes plays too. So they have a really good money running back, number 11, that can make you miss any point in time. So I'm respect their offense a lot. They're one of the better offenses we played the whole season, and they're really explosive. So we're gonna have to be on our P's and Q's.
Next, we'll go to Susan Miller-Degnan from the Herald. Susan, go ahead.
Hey, Jaden.
How are you?
Good, thank you. So this will be your first ACC game, right? After playing in the Big 12. Any thoughts on the ACC conference from what you know? And I do have a follow.
They're great conference. The history of this conference is amazing. University of Miami, you got Florida State, Clemson. This conference is great, and historically has been really good. And there's always good teams. There's a lot of speed in this conference. You also have a balance of speed and athleticism, aggressiveness, but just based on the nature of the guys of where the conference is placed at in that southeastern area, you going up that coast. So it's a very powerful conference, a Power Five conference. So I'm excited to get my first game there.
Oh, that was a great answer. Also, I wanted to ask you about the uniforms they'll be wearing. You'll be wearing the Miami Knights, the all black uniforms. I'm not sure how many times Oklahoma wore alternative uniforms, but what your thoughts on wearing a special uniform?
They're great. It's more about it's a nice change up, from the orange and white or the green and white. It's a nice change up, but we still have to go out there and perform, So we're not gonna want to wear those black uniforms again if we go out there and lay an egg. So it's just all about just performance. The black uniforms are cool. They're cool to look at, but once that whistle blows, we got to go out there and we got to perform.
Did you do that a lot in Oklahoma? Did you guys wear different ones?
I think it was once a year. We wore an alt jersey. I think it was once, but not that much. They're really big on tradition, like University of Miami.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Matt Shodell. Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, hey, Jaden. Obviously, you guys were on a pretty good roll there heading into the bye weekend. So I was just curious, how do you think the team progressed off the bye? How much did the extra time off help you guys maybe, get things even more shored up, more squared away to what you want to look like as a defense and as an overall team?
I mean, it was great. In the bye week, you're able to self-scout and really get into it with all the guys on the team, and guys that typically don't get as many reps throughout the course of the week. They're able to get more reps in the bye week. So I'm gonna shout out the guy Jaden Harris. He had to step in for when Cam was down. He had to step in, and it was no letdown. It was no anything like that. And he's one of those guys in that bye week that you really seen grow. And I know you guys might not see it because you guys don't know all the coverages and everything, but he's really doing a lot for this team, and he's doing way better than he has. So that's just one example of how guys have progressed during the bye week, and I feel like we used it effectively.
Let's go back to Adam. Adam, go ahead.
Hey again. So Georgia Tech, I'm sure you guys saw on film, they lost to Bowling Green last week. How do you guys, for a game where you might be the heavy favorites and stuff, how do you guys and how do the coaches make sure that you guys are staying focused and not kind of taking things for granted or anything like that?
And that's a really good Georgia Tech team. From what I've seen on tape, I mean, everybody else on the outside can have their own opinions on that, but from us on the inside, we respect this team. This team is a high-powered offense, and like I said earlier, one of the best offenses we've seen. I haven't really watched the defense because I'm playing defense, but their offense is like the skill players that they have, the athleticism that they have on offense, and at every single position, the quarterback that makes everything go. I mean, the Bowling Green game is not a great example of how good they are, and I feel like they're going to play way better on Saturday at 8 o'clock.
Go ahead.
Hi, Cam. I know at Oregon, you guys wore lots of different wild uniforms. And now you're wearing this special alternative one this week, all black. How do you do you like that? Is that fun for you? Different guys on the team are saying different things about it.
Yeah, obviously, the jersey is a cool thing. At the end of the day, it's just something we wear.
I'm excited to wear a different uniform. Obviously, first year out here, so everything is a new experience for me, and I'm excited to wear it. But at the end of the day, it's just a uniform, and we still got to go out there and play football. You know what I mean?
Of course. I mean, what about when you were at Oregon? Was it fun to have all those, really neon kind of unis?
Yeah, I mean it's cool. But like at the end of the day, like I said, like we're just wear them. It's a switch up of a normal uniform that we wear and an alternate uniform, like you said. So do guys find enjoyment wearing a new uniform? Of course, but it's a little picture.
Okay, and that one other thing, when you played, across the country, when you were at Pac-12, did you ever think of other conferences? You know how fans always compare conferences and stuff. The ACC, your thoughts then and now after seeing some of the teams and stuff, your impressions of the ACC.
The ACC is a really good conference. Obviously, I mean any college football team is they're all good teams. They all have good players. And they all have the potential to win games. So there's definitely no overlooking any opponent, any conference. Like it's about everyone's preparation and their willingness to want to compete and win. So at the end of the day, it's like we're all here to play football, and you got to put your best foot forward in order to win those games.
Okay, thank you.
Next up, we'll go to Adam Lichtenstein. Adam, go ahead.
Hey, Cam, how's it going?
Good.
So Mario mentioned on Monday it looked like Elijah Arroyo could be back on the field this weekend. What have you seen from him? Like, how he's been working rehab, like how hard he's been working to like rehab and stuff and get ready to play.
Yeah, obviously he's been working really, really hard. He wants to get back out on the field as much as we all want him back out on the field. But that comes with time, obviously, and without you don't want to rush anything because we want him long term. But he's been doing a really good job, in practice, in his preparation, and I'm excited to see when he does get out there.
And I'm sure that 'cause I know we spoke to him beginning of the in camp, and it seemed like he was gonna be ready to play kind of earlier, and he hasn't obviously. Did you talk to him at all about like just being patient and kind of like going through that on the mental aspect of things? Because obviously you've had your own history with injuries.
Yeah, of course. I've talked to him. I've obviously reached out and we've had conversations about that. It's like a lot of people will tell you, it's like it's a long road. You just have to be patient. Like things are going to fall into place when they do, and when that time is, then you'll just be ready to take advantage of that opportunity. But obviously, coming back from an injury, like his knee, like it's a long road. Like things happen. New movements, new things. Like as someone who's went through that too, like I know how it goes. So I just try to be a good support person for him. If he has any questions, I'm obviously there to help him and kind of get through what questions he has, because obviously I'm not sure if it's his first injury, but like injuries are injuries and people all have different experiences, and I can help with that.
Next up, we'll go to Marcus Benjamin. Marcus, go ahead.
Hi, Cam. I just wanted to talk about or ask about the preparation for this week, being that Georgia Tech has a new defensive coordinator and just the challenges of preparing for multiple schemes. What's that been like?
Yeah, obviously we watch film. We study them. They're a really good team. They bring some unique things to the table. And we need to be ready for anything when we get out there on Saturday. Because obviously, like we're game planning them, they're game planning us. So obviously we have to be ready for everything when we get out there. We prepare to the best we can. And when we go out there, it's, has our preparation led us to the point where we can play this game at a high level and execute it at a good enough level.
Hey, Jalen. So I wanted to ask you sort of an off the beaten track question. I'm sure you guys don't pay attention to Pro Football Focus grades, but we don't have access to your grades. And, Pro Football Focus, they've graded you guys out really, really well as pass blocking as a unit, but not so great as a run blocking unit. Internally, I was curious, are you guys pretty happy with the run blocking, the way you guys have done it? Have you guys graded out pretty well as a unit, as a first team unit on the offensive line in run blocking?
And like we said, I don't really pay attention to the PFF grades, like all that. But like when we review film, of course, we're not satisfied with where we're at. We're just trying to focus on every day getting better. So that's our main focus every day of the week. So to answer the question, no, we're not satisfied. If that's a low grade, and of course it's our job to get it better. So that's what we've been practicing every week.
Next, we'll go to Adam Lichtenstein. Adam, go ahead.
Hey, Jalen, how's it going?
But how are you?
Good. So now that you've had, 4 games at left tackle under your belt this year, how do you feel like you've, adjusted to the position and kind of like, gelled in it?
Well, I mean, like since off season, since spring, of course, I've been moving everywhere. So just getting, settled into one spot and being more comfortable at it, it feels really great. So being back at left tackle, I haven't been back at left tackle consistently since about high school. But it feels great being back there. Just keep learning the position, getting better each day.
Next, we'll go to Susan Miller-Degnan. Susan, go ahead.
Hi, Jalen. Wanted to know your thoughts on the ACC, on you guys, playing 8 consecutive ACC games, and I think you're the only team in the league that hasn't played an ACC game yet. Do you like the way that ended up? Can it be beneficial?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have no control over the schedule. I just look at what the schedule is, and I just prepare for each team. It doesn't matter. ACC, of course, it's great to get our ACC game, but I mean, I feel good just to play any game. Of course, it's going to be ACC straight weeks, but it's fine with me. I don't really care.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Now let's go to Marcus Benjamin. Marcus, go ahead.
Hi, Jalen. Georgia Tech changed their defensive coordinator this week. It's a pretty odd situation for a team to do that. Then just kind of wanted to ask about the different challenges, I guess, with that being that maybe you guys are preparing for multiple different schemes.
Yeah, I mean, we've been watching film back when the defense coordinator was at Tennessee. We've been looking at different types of blitz they like to bring these past 4 games that we've been playing. So we're being prepared. We're preparing each day. Of course, we have the next 2 days to prepare even more. So, yes, they changed coordinators, but that just means just digging in deeper, doing our research, and just picking up the blitz that they bring and like to bring.
And we'll wrap up by circling back to Adam. Adam, go ahead.
Hey again. So you guys have, done a very good job pass blocking for Tyler. He's had, basically as much time as he needs to throw. How much, I guess, satisfaction do you guys get as a unit, like take as a unit, knowing that like everything is kind of clicking smoothly because it's kind of all starting with you guys doing your job well?
Yeah, I mean, like our passing game has been really good. We take pride in we take pride in every game, trying not to get our quarterback hurt or a hit. I mean, I think we only have 1 sack this year so far, and we're trying to maintain that and no more sacks, even more. So, I mean, we take pride in our passing game. We take pride in everything we do. But our passing game has been great, but it can be better too.
So just from watching, I asked Jaden the same thing. From watching Georgia Tech on film, they have a pretty prolific offense so far this year. Just what have you seen from them, and what are some of the things that you've been working on? You don't have to go through a whole game plan or anything, but like you've been working on for them.
I mean, Georgia Tech got some really good players on their offense. They got some really good receivers, explosive receivers, pretty fast receivers too. We got a quarterback that can throw accurate passes. So we're just preparing all for that. Coming out of that game against the previous opponent, that didn't go their way, and we know that team is good, and we just got to prepare like how we prepare every game. So yeah, we're going all out.
Next, we're going to Matt Shodell from Canesport. Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, hey, Kiko. Mario Cristobal's made a big point about this being a player-led team, and obviously you were on a different team last year. But from when you arrived to now, have you seen a difference maybe in just players taking more ownership? Was it already a player-led team when you arrived at Miami? Can you just talk about that a little bit?
Yes. I feel like the time I got here, we got a lot of vocal leaders on our team, and we do player-led meetings almost half of the off season, and that kind of really impacted how we approach every scheme and how we handle ourselves. We got leaders like Cam Kitchen, James Williams, Corey Flagg on the defense, and got TVD on the offense, and and Matt Lee, who came in new, and we just got players that had those attributes to lead the team, and feel like everybody has been bond in and buy into it. So yeah.
Let's go back to Adam.
Hey again. So Coach Mario and I think Coach Guidry kind of talked on Monday about, with the bye week, some of the younger guys and some of the guys who haven't played as much getting more opportunities during the bye week to get more reps. Who, among the young linebackers have you seen, or how have you seen the young linebackers do, during that last week, last week stretch?
In the bye week, the freshman guys got a lot of reps to go in practice, and our linebacker group is very talented. These freshman guys like Popo stood out on film, man. He's very aggressive, and he flies around on the ball. You got Bobby, who has a really explosive get off, and it's just a matter of growth and experience that they need, and we'll get to it. So yeah, they've been really good.
Next, we'll go to Susan Miller-Degnan. Susan, go ahead.
Hi, Kiko. I know you played, in the Pac-12, and now this will be your first ACC game. And just some thoughts on the ACC. I don't know how much you even noticed them from across the country before, but just what you expect and the conference in general, and then I'll have a follow-up.
I'm going in as neutral, neutral thinking. I'm just gonna play ball, but I practice the way I play, and that's how I approach everything. I'm just gonna play the game of football at the best of my ability and see how it goes from there. And just by going off of film, we got some really good teams on ACC, and these guys can run. Their O-line's pretty good, so it's a matter of executing at a high level. So yeah.
Okay, great. And also, I just wanted to know about I know you guys are going to be wearing the all black uniforms, it's special uniforms, and some guys don't care, and some guys like Cam Kinchins is really excited about it. How do you feel about that? And did you guys do that a lot at Washington State also?
I'm excited for the uniform, man. We got a little change up on our pace, and we're just excited to wear that uniform, represent the U, represent the logo and the sponsors. And it was the same thing for Washington State too. We had we had a lot of change ups, and we take pride in those. So I love that we're wearing all black for a night game. So I'm excited for the opportunity to wear that.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
And let's wrap up with Marcus Benjamin. Marcus, go ahead.
Hey, Kiko, just wanted to ask about you guys' ability to stop the run. You guys have been able to stop the run at a really high level. What do you attribute to that? And is there anything that the coaches are doing or saying to you guys to help you stop the run at a high level?
I give a lot of credits to the D-line, man. Those guys in the trenches, they work hard, and you see it like every practice. These guys stay behind and work on their technique and fitting their holes, and all we do as a linebacker is just fitting those open gaps. And most of the time they be taking two gaps and making our job a lot easier, just tracking the running back. So I feel like we have been doing a really good job in stopping the run, and we just got to get better. There's always room for improvement, and it starts here in practice. So yeah.
So Georgia Tech, their passing game has been pretty good to start the year. Just what have you guys been working on now that you guys are going against tougher ACC passing games and this solid offense?
We just been working on the little things, every week, new scheme, making sure everybody's on the same page, making sure we're gonna play fast.
Next, we'll go to Matt Shadell from Kane Sport. Matt, go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, Daryl. So I know you just got here last year, but it's sort of been a recurring theme at Miami where off a bye in the past, Miami hasn't returned, fully focused perhaps or fully on point. What leads you to believe off the bye week that you guys have actually gotten better or maybe even more focused, playing even better than you were off that 4-0 start, just based on the last week and a half?
I don't think anything changed. Practice is still the same. We're still banging every day. Cristobal is keeping us up the pace. I don't think we'll be any slower. I feel like everything will be the same.
We'll go back to Adam.
Hey again. So in talking, with coaches and a couple guys yesterday, everyone was very complimentary of Jaden Harris and the way he played with Cam out. What have you seen from him? He's obviously still a younger guy, only in his second year. How have you seen him kind of grow over the last few weeks?
Jaden Harris is a hell of a player. He picks up the defense very well. As you can see, he played well in the game. It wasn't no difference as much without Cam Kitchen. So I feel like he's been ready. He just had to get his wait his turn.
Let's go back to Matt.
All right. So I also want to ask you, you're obviously playing really well. Not that Pro Football Focus is the end all be all, but they have opponents with only 5 catches on 13 targets for 40 yards and just 1 yard after catch against you. So, what sort of has clicked for you maybe compared to last year? How do you feel you're playing so far this season?
I think coach is playing to my strengths. Just making sure me, Cam, James, Jaden Davis, we're all on the same page. I feel like if we're all on the same page, we're playing much faster. So I feel like that's the difference. We're all on the same page.
And we'll wrap up with Susan Miller-Degnan from the Herald. Susan, go ahead.
Hi, Daryl. I know that you played at some, before, a couple of years ago for West Virginia. And I was asking some of the guys, because we have some of the transfers here, about starting the ACC schedule. And now you've seen it like last year. What when you were at West Virginia, did you ever think about other conferences, and how people compare conferences, and what were your perceptions of the ACC then, and what are they now?
Not really. I didn't really focus too much on different conferences. I feel like football is football. Everything is the same. Everybody puts the same pants on, just like I do. Yeah.
Any thoughts though on the ACC as far as a conference? That you've been through it 1 year.
I don't think there's too much difference in the ACC.
Mm-hmm.
I think everything's the same.